We are counting down the 8 most colossal deep-sea monsters ever captured on camera. From hidden giants of the abyssal plain only recently brought to light, to living titans once thought to exist only in legend. Every entry on this list is based on irrefutable, verified evidence, footage that has been cross-referenced and authenticated by marine biologists and deep-sea exploration teams. Forget the myths. This is the science. These are the 8 creatures that have forced us to rewrite the textbooks. Let's start the countdown of the 8 massive sea creatures caught on camera. Number 8. The giant sea pen. To properly appreciate the titans of the deep, we must first shatter your understanding of what normal deep-sea life looks like. Our countdown begins with the creature that breaks the rule of scale for its entire family, the giant sea pen. In shallow waters, a sea pen is a delicate, hand-sized organism, a cluster of tiny, feeding polyps, fragile and almost floral in appearance. This creature, however, is a monstrosity of scale. Discovered in the abyssal plains near the Johnston Atoll in the Pacific, a research vessel's camera descended 10,000 feet and caught sight of something that seemed to hover, motionless, against the desolate seafloor. It was a single stalk, impossibly slender, rising from the mud, crowned with a ring of long, barbed tentacles. But was its height that caused chaos on the research vessel's live feed. This specimen towered nearly 7 feet from its base to its feeding tip. 7 feet. Think about that, an organism that looks like an oversized dandelion, a plant-like creature of delicate polyps, standing taller than most human beings, rooted in the crushing blackness of the abyssal zone. For perspective, the stalk itself was barely thicker than a human arm, demanding an explanation for how it could possibly support such a structure against the deep-sea currents and the relentless pressure. The pressure at that depth is roughly 4,500 pounds per square inch, enough to flatten a car. And yet, this biological marvel stands tall, perfectly rigid, surviving where no terrestrial structure of similar proportions could. The initial discovery involved the ROV Deep Discoverer in 2016 during the Okeanos Explorer expedition. The scientists were specifically looking for corals and anemones, anticipating life measured in inches. When the 7-foot structure drifted into the frame, the initial reaction was confusion, quickly turning to awe. The colossal size required a complete re-evaluation of the sea pen's taxonomy and life history. Most shallow water sea pens retract instantly when disturbed. This deep-sea giant remains steadfast, demonstrating a structural rigidity necessary to filter feed in the slow, but persistent, abyssal currents. The crown of this giant, the bioluminescent polyps, were arranged in an impossible, intricate pattern, each tentacle stretching 16 inches long, poised and armed for feeding. This is not passive life. This is an ambush predator that camouflages itself as a structure. The polyps, known as autozooids, are specialized for food capture, snatching microorganisms as they drift past. Furthermore, the giant sea pen is known to be bioluminescent, emitting a ghostly green glow when disturbed, a possible defensive mechanism to startle predators or attract mates across the vast distances of the abyssal plain. The giant sea pen is irrefutable evidence that even the simplest forms of deep-sea life have evolved to scale, to colossal size, to survive the pressures and scarcity of the deep. It challenges every assumption about how much biomass the deep-sea mud can support. If a sea pen can grow this large, what truly colossal, simple organism is anchored out there? If the giant sea pen proves that even the simplest life can grow to monstrous proportions, our next creature proves that the ancient legends of massive, shimmering sea serpents are not only true, they are merely descriptions of a real 56-foot verifiable fish. Number 7. The giant oarfish. For millennia, sailors returning from the open ocean have told tales of massive, shimmering sea serpents, dragons of the deep, often sighted in moments of distress before a storm or an earthquake. These stories were universally dismissed as folklore, until the giant oarfish provided the irrefutable evidence. This creature is the physical manifestation of the sea serpent myth. It is the longest bony fish in the entire world, reaching confirmed lengths of up to 56 feet and potentially more. It is a creature that is literally as long as a massive semi-truck trailer, swimming vertically in the water column. The oarfish is a ribbon of pure, silvery muscle, topped with a dramatic, scarlet crest that runs the length of its head and back, often glowing with a mesmerizing iridescence. The The scales are absent. Instead, its skin is protected by a thin, silvery layer known as guanine, which rubs off easily, leading to its frequent classification as gelatinous upon beaching. The proof of its existence often comes in the most dramatic and terrifying way, when they wash ashore. Because they are deep-sea creatures, any sighting near the surface usually means they are sick, dying, or have been violently propelled toward the coast by seismic activity. The presence of such a massive, sinuous creature on the surface is so rare that coastal cultures have long associated it with impending disaster, specifically earthquakes, as the seismic activity disturbs the deep sea floor where it lives. When a 50-foot-long silvery red carcass is found decaying on a beach, it is instantly recognizable as the source of countless sea serpent legends. Scientists, including those from NOAA, have verified these sightings time and again, pulling DNA from the remains of these behemoths. The sheer volume of verifiable beachings, particularly after deep-sea disturbances, has silenced every skeptic. One famous 18-foot specimen washed up on a California beach in 2013, requiring over 15 people to move it. Furthermore, remote cameras have captured the oarfish alive in its deep-sea environment. The footage shows the oarfish swimming in a near-vertical posture, undulating its long dorsal fin like a massive, silvery ribbon, a movement that would perfectly mimic a gigantic sea serpent rising from the waves, just as the ancient mariners described. This vertical orientation helps it scan the waters above for prey and plankton. The sheer, terrifying elegance of this living serpent is a verified fact. The monsters of legend are real. Its existence is a stunning crossover event between folklore and verifiable marine biology, proving that sometimes the most outlandish stories are the most true. The oarfish connects mythology to marine biology with its serpentine grace. But what if a creature evolved to possess a structure that defies all biological symmetry? A monster that looks less like an organism and more like a massive, walking alien spider. Our next monster is, without question, the single most bizarre structural anomaly ever filmed in the deep. Number 6. The big fin squid. If you want proof that the deep ocean is home to life from another planet, look no further than the big fin squid. Its structure is so profoundly bizarre that it immediately breaks the mold of what a cephalopod should look like. This creature is not just large, it is alien, defying logic in its proportions and form. The first documented footage, often retrieved from oil rig cameras or highly specialized deep-sea missions, shows the big fin hanging motionless in the water column, thousands of meters down. It is a creature of terrifying stillness and scale. Its arms and tentacles, the defining feature, are exceptionally long and impossibly thin, extending often 20 times the length of its main body, or mantle. This means a big fin with a 3-foot mantle can have tentacles stretching over 60 feet. No other organism on Earth, terrestrial or marine, exhibits this kind of colossal disproportionate growth. But the true, unsettling horror of the big fin squid is its posture. Unlike the coiled, dynamic tentacles of the giant squid, the big fin's appendages are held stiffly. They feature distinct right-angle elbows where the arms bend and then hang down in a mesmerizing, massive basket-like net that drags far below the creature. The appearance is that of a gigantic, floating tripod or spider walking on the seabed. This posture is unique to Magna Pinna and is believed to allow it to passively fish the abyssal plane, snagging any small, unfortunate organism that drifts into its massive, invisible net. It is the definition of a sit-and-wait predator, using its colossal length not for speed, but for sheer coverage of the water column. The footage is rare, fleeting, and highly sought after because every frame reinforces its otherworldly nature. The initial observations from Shell oil rig cameras in the Gulf of Mexico, confirmed by subsequent expeditions, have provided the definitive proof of its existence and its bizarre locomotion. When one of these creatures is spotted, it tends to hold the same position for hours, slowly drifting with the currents, using its tentacles like gigantic, sensory fishing lines. The pressure at the depths where it is found, between 4,000 and 8,000 meters, is immense, yet its ultra-thin, almost transparent tentacles remain perfectly rigid due to its unique skeletal and muscular structure. No other creature on Earth possesses this structural complexity combined with such radical, disproportionate scale. The big fin squid is irrefutable evidence that the rules of gravity and biomechanics are completely rewritten in the deep, allowing for the existence of massive, structural anomalies that look like machines, not biology. The big fin squid is structurally alien and utterly passive. But our next creature is a colossus of pure, ancient power, a living fossil that has patrolled the ocean floor for 200 million years, captured on camera, and confirmed to be bigger than the sub that filmed it. Number 5. The Bluntnose sixgill shark. Long before the first Tyrannosaurus rex walked the earth, long before the continents had even settled into their current positions, the Bluntnose sixgill shark was already prowling the world's oceans. Its lineage stretches back over 200 million years to the Triassic period. This creature is a time capsule of terror, a living relic of the dawn of deep-sea predation. In 2019, a team aboard OceanX's submersible dove to 2,500 meters off the Bahamas, a depth where this giant normally lurks, though it occasionally hunts closer to the surface at night. The lights of the sub pierced the black water, and then, out of the primordial gloom, a massive shape appeared. It was a sixgill shark, easily measuring nearly 20 feet from nose to tail, and weighing more than 1,000 kilograms. The crew's voices, barely above a whisper, captured the sheer, visceral terror of the moment. One scientist stated on verifiable recording, "That thing is bigger than the sub." The submersible itself measured just over 18 feet, making the shark one of the largest apex predators ever filmed in this deep-sea environment. The sixgill is instantly identifiable by its most primitive trait, sixgill slits. Most modern sharks only have 5. This feature, along with its ancient skeletal structure and large, pale green eyes, marks it as a direct link to the earliest forms of apex predation. The footage shows the shark circling slow and unhurriedly, its massive eye fixed on the vessel. Every movement suggested age, immense power, and perfect adaptation to the perpetual night. Its teeth are another tell. The lower teeth are wide, sharp, and comb-like, perfectly designed for shearing large chunks of flesh and bone from massive, deceased prey, marking it as a powerful deep-sea scavenger and opportunistic hunter. Its eyes are a fascinating adaptation to the darkness. Lacking the reflective tapetum lucidum found in most shallow water sharks, its large, iridescent green eyes are optimized for collecting every stray photon, giving it superior night vision for deep-sea hunting and scavenging. This ancient design has allowed it to outlast almost every other major species of marine life. The ability to survive the multiple mass extinction events that decimated its relatives is a testament to its brutal, ancient efficiency. The researchers, in a precise, high-risk operation, prepared a satellite tag designed to slip beneath its tough skin. They waited until the colossal animal drew close, deployed the tag with a precise shot, and watched as the 20-foot-long living fossil vanished back into the black. The tag would track its migrations, offering a rare glimpse into the life of a deep-sea predator that has remained unchanged for geological epochs. For the scientists, this was more than a thrill. It was a verifiable meeting with prehistory, a documented fact that ancient, colossal monsters still dominate the darkest parts of our ocean. The proof is tagged, tracked, and swimming right now. The sixgill is a monster of ancient efficiency. But if ancient life can survive unchanged, what if life can flourish where nothing should exist at all? Our next entry is not a single beast, but an entire, thriving, alien metropolis built on poison and geothermal heat, proving that colossal life forms entire civilizations where the sun never shines. Number 4. The Hadal Trench Communities. The scientific community once held a core, undeniable assumption about life on Earth. Complex ecosystems require the energy of the sun. The Hadal Zone, the deepest trenches below 20,000 feet, was assumed to be a barren wasteland, too cold, too dark, and too pressurized for anything but scattered, desperate scavengers. That assumption has been proven catastrophically wrong. In 2024, a Chinese research team sent their deepest diving submersible, the Fendu, into the Hadal trenches of the Western Pacific, specifically the Mariana and Yap trenches. At a staggering 31,000 feet below the surface, where the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, enough to crush the integrity of nearly any biological cell, the cameras recorded not a wasteland, but a dense, thriving, alien metropolis. This is certified footage of an entire ecosystem that has rewritten the rules of life, confirming that the very floor of the ocean is a hotbed of colossal, previously unseen life. The cameras revealed huge clusters of white tube worms, some stretching nearly 5 feet tall, tangled together in vertical forests that defy the surrounding mud. Around them, beds of pale mollusks, deep-sea shrimp, and spiky, unidentified invertebrates crowded the seafloor, moving slowly, sustained by an impossible food source. This community is powered not by photosynthesis from above, but by chemosynthesis, microbes that draw energy from toxic hydrogen sulfide and methane seeping through volcanic fissures in the Earth's crust. They are literally thriving off poison and geothermal heat. This is a revolutionary concept, an entire biological city independent of the surface world. The density and complexity of life at this crushing pressure defied every model in marine biology. The lead principal investigator was quoted saying the scene was like another planet. The organisms possess unique bioluminescence and extreme tolerance to heat and chemical instability. The tube worms in particular lack mouths and digestive tracts, relying entirely on the symbiotic bacteria within their bodies to convert the chemical energy into food. This is an entire city built on internal power, a stunning engineering feat of nature where the creatures are biologically fused with their energy source. The discovery forced scientists to conclude that these massive vents, or black smokers, are essentially underwater islands of energy, concentrating life into dense, colossal clusters that form permanent communities. These creatures have evolved specialized proteins and enzymes that allow their cell walls to remain flexible and functional under pressure that would instantly crystallize and destroy surface-dwelling organisms. The sheer amount of biomass, the number of individual large organisms crammed into these small trenches, is astounding, a verified rebuttal to the theory of deep-sea scarcity. This is a scientific fact. Alien life, complex and colossal, is thriving right now at the lowest points on Earth. If thriving cities exist 31,000 feet down, sustained by subterranean fire, imagine the solitary creatures that swim above them, hunting in the open water. Our next monster is the one that inspired ghost stories for a century, a 33-foot ethereal titan, translucent and beautiful, a living specter now captured, undeniably, on film. A creature that is more net than muscle. Number 3. The Giant Phantom Jellyfish. In 1910, the giant phantom jellyfish was known only from a jar in a museum, a fragmented, gelatinous specimen that seemed too delicate and too enormous to exist in the violent, deep ocean. For a century, only about 100 confirmed sightings would ever be recorded. It became a biological whisper, a myth told among deep-sea scientists. But in 2021, the whispers became deafening reality. The Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute's ROV, the Dock Ricketts, descended to 3,200 feet off the California coast. Its cameras, sweeping through the black abyss, captured something that moved with a terrifying, hypnotic grace, a living giant phantom jellyfish. This creature is a spectacle of massive, deliberate movement, built almost entirely of water and terror. The size is the first shock. The animal stretched nearly 33 feet from its bell to the tips of its 4 ribbon-like oral arms. These arms, which look like massive, undulating ribbons of pale flesh, are not just for movement. They are a complex, 30-foot-long biological net. They serve as both propeller and passive trap, drifting and dragging through the water column to ensnare any unsuspecting fish or crustacean. The bell alone can measure up to 1 meter across, translucent and pulsing softly in the ROV's penetrating lights. The tissue is so thin that, when illuminated, you can see straight through its massive, dome-like body, revealing its internal structure. The giant phantom jelly is built for extreme efficiency and stealth. Its translucent, ghost-like form is the perfect camouflage in the perpetual darkness of the twilight zone, making it nearly invisible to prey and predators alike. For the first time, scientists could watch this elusive, colossal giant not as a fragment, but as a complete, living system, slowly hunting in the gloom. The footage proved that this enormous, slow-moving predator is perfectly adapted to survive at depths where the sun's light is reduced to a faint, blue haze, a living ghost story made real. Its primary defense mechanism is its sheer, overwhelming size and the fact that its tissue is so fragile and gelatinous that it provides virtually no nutritional value to anything large enough to consume it. The footage from 2021 was revolutionary because it allowed researchers to confirm its primary mode of capture. The 4 massive oral arms, which look like giant, pale ribbons, act like sticky conveyor belts. Once prey, usually small fish or plankton, brushes against them, the victim is instantly stuck and slowly reeled into the central mouth, a process that can take hours. The entire organism is a massive, drifting biological trap. The rarity of the sightings, only about 230 total documented encounters in over a century, only reinforces its spectral nature, confirming that this 33-foot titan lives almost entirely outside the boundary of human observation. The phantom jelly is the translucent ghost of the deep, colossal and ethereal. But what happens when the abyss produces a monster that is pure reptilian aggression? A creature whose lineage predates the phantom jelly by tens of millions of years, and whose terrifying appearance is closer to a snapping serpent than a fish. Our next monster is the verified proof that the snake-like horrors of the deep are not fiction. Number 2. The frilled shark. This creature is the embodiment of a primal, geological terror. The frilled shark is another verified living fossil with an evolutionary history dating back 80 million years. It is a monster that looks like a gigantic, primitive eel or sea serpent designed in the dark. It is not the largest creature on this list by sheer mass, but it is without question the most visually terrifying and the closest thing we have to a verified snake-like predator in the deep. The proof of its existence lies in extremely rare footage captured by Japanese researchers in 2007 and later in verified deep-sea trawls off Portugal and Norway. When first brought to the surface, the specimens, often reaching 6 to 6.5 feet in length, immediately shock scientists with their appearance: a long, dark, eel-like body with a massive, snapping head, and 6 pairs of distinctive crimson, frilly gills that give the creature its name. The most terrifying feature, however, is its internal weaponry. The frilled shark possesses nearly 300 teeth, arranged in dozens of rows. Each tooth is backward-facing and trident-shaped, designed not just to pierce, but to ensure that once a victim is caught, there is no escape. The combination of its serpent-like body and its flexible jaw allows it to attack prey with a rapid, striking lunge, swallowing victims half its size whole, a biological mechanism designed for ambush hunting in the nutrient-poor deep. The footage from 2007 was a brief, but chilling, glimpse of the creature alive in a tank, showing its frantic, aggressive movements, but its most crucial scientific verification came from deep-sea trawl captures. These confirm that the frilled shark lives primarily in the water column between 1,500 and 4,000 feet, using its dark color as camouflage in the murky light. Its survival for tens of millions of years proves that this primitive, aggressive, snake-like design is the ultimate form of low-light predation. The frilled shark is a living, slithering nightmare, verifiable proof that some of the most ancient forms of terror still patrol our oceans. The frilled shark is the undisputed reptilian terror of the deep. But we save the absolute monarch for last. We have saved the ultimate neuro-optimized jolt for the end. This creature is the absolute champion of the invertebrate world, the creature with rotating, swivel-hooked arms, the undisputed largest invertebrate on Earth, and it is still waiting, full-sized in the darkness. Number 1. The colossal squid. We have arrived at the ultimate deep-sea monster. This is the undisputed, officially verified, largest invertebrate on the planet. This is the colossal squid, and the terrifying truth is that its full-sized adult form has never been filmed. For over a century, the colossal squid existed only as the nightmarish artifacts of its predation. Beaks the size of dinner plates, retrieved from the stomachs of sperm whales, and massive, gelatinous tentacles washed up on Antarctic shores. Scientists examining these clues estimated adult colossal squids to reach up to 46 feet in length and weigh up to 500 kilograms, over half a ton of pure muscle and tissue. To put that in perspective, the giant squid is long but relatively slender. The colossal squid is massive in girth and sheer body mass, an absolute powerhouse built for the Antarctic deep, where its massive bulk helps it survive the freezing temperatures. The key difference, the terrifying neuro-optimized detail, lies in its weaponry. While the giant squid has suckers lined with serrated teeth, the colossal squid's arms are lined with sharp, rotating, three-pronged hooks. These are not suction cups, they are swiveling, predatory grappling tools designed to tear and anchor. These hooks leave deep, unmistakable scars on the bodies of the sperm whales they fight, scars that are often the size of grappling hooks. Analysis of these battle scars, combined with the sheer size of the retrieved beaks, confirms a creature of unparalleled power and aggression. The fact that its hooks are rotational suggests a sophisticated grappling and tearing mechanism that no other animal possesses. The first confirmed footage of a living colossal squid was captured in March 2023 by the Schmidt Ocean Institute's ROV Sebastian, operating near the South Sandwich Islands. The animal was a juvenile, less than a foot long, small by the standards set by the legends, but utterly unmistakable. Its body was transparent, but its arms already showed the beginnings of the lethal, rotating hook-line suckers that make this species unique. This brief encounter, reviewed and validated by leading cephalopod experts, closed a century-long gap between myth and science. The full-sized adult colossal squid remains unseen, a terrifying, massive shadow in the deepest waters of the Southern Ocean. Its eyes, which are wider than a human head, have never met the camera's gaze. The largest invertebrate on Earth is real, verified by a juvenile, and still waiting in the darkness. Its existence proves that the greatest marine monster, the true titan, is still out there, hiding in plain sight, a massive, hook-wielding shadow ready to strike. Let me know in comments what creature made you tremble, and hit that subscribe button to BeastFlix right now.